Hello and welcome to our weekly Card Goblin update. We are joined once again by Richard the Card Goblin. How have you been
Hello.
this week?
Good. It's been a it's been a busy week. We've had lots of new releases, not for Universus, a lot for games, but uh, those have been coming out, and also we've had lots of stuff to prep for Godzilla next week. So that's been keeping us busy.
Yeah, and we saw that you released a new article. I'll put a link in the description, but would you like to give
hmm
a brief synopsis of what you want over in the article?
So the article was just kind of an update in general. I was kind of wanting to offer a bit more transparency to just customers in general and people who probably have questions and things. And I decided why not just bring people along on the journey with me. So the article was kind of the beginnings of that, to let people kind of peer in and see what's going on. So the general gist is we spoke about how we've updated the site to make it more accessible. We've also done a lot of back end stuff to it, so it works better in general and it loads better and it in general just feels a bit better. The biggest thing we added, which sounds so simple, but we added a filter system, which, even though it looks simple, was a lot of work to implement because you had to add a lot of different information to every single asset on the site. So that allows you to find your XR CCA, your common CCA, you get to filter it all out. And we also spoke briefly about how we're improving our fulfillment system. So thankfully my background is blurred, or you'll see the absolute mess the office is because I'm currently at least in the process of reorganizing everything and making everything so much more easier for me to easily and quickly fulfill orders. So currently we just kind of have 5 row, I don't know what you call them, like storage boxes, 5 row storage boxes kind of on top of each other, which isn't the greatest way to, fulfill orders quickly because I have to lift them off, lift them back on, find all the cards, and also the cards, although they are organized in the boxes, they're organized in a way that isn't very effective for anyone who isn't me. So I'm implementing a way where anybody, so if I hire somebody, can just come in, look at the pick sheets, and go, okay, I know that card number, I know what sets it from, where's the box? Oh, there it is. Take the card, and I'm working on all that as well. And also just in general making the site feel better and updating stock. The next thing for me to do is updating prices, so just watch out for those. Some cards will definitely drop in price, some cards may rise in price, and just keeping on top of all of that.
So
Sorry.
there's not much really to talk to about card pricing, as you said they're about to change.
hmm
But you did mention Godzilla. So are we
hmm
going to be seeing a more speedy distribution of Godzilla? Is it all in your hand, ready to
So
go?
as long as I get it on time, it should all be out at least on the latest I'll dispatch it for everyone is the 21st, the day of release. I will try, if I get it on time, to get it out on the 20th, so people are more likely to get it either on the day or on the weekend. But I can't necessarily guarantee that, and also I have to keep in mind that I'm technically I've got to be careful about not sending things too early and people getting them too early. Not that I think anybody would really mind about that, but I could get in trouble if people got items before release date. So I have to watch out for that. So everything will be out for Godzilla by Friday next week, latest. Anybody who's paid express shipping, if I will try and get those sent on Thursday to try and get them to you on Friday. But latest for most people will probably be getting their Godzilla decks on Saturday. It'll be all hands on deck for that. So, and then we'll upload singles for the Godzilla decks because I know there's some people who don't necessarily want to buy the whole deck, and then they want a certain card, and those will be up the following few days afterwards. So probably the Sunday or the Monday.
Yeah, that's what my next question was going to be. What has been the popular singles of the week?
Oof, good question. We've seen a weird shift. A lot of people, so girl power obviously took the spotlight for a lot of people, and a lot of people have brought so much girl power that's unreal. But with this week, I think with the announcement that UU is out with print, as far as I'm aware at least, there've been a lot of people buying a lot of the UU singles they need. So I think the biggest selling card this week has probably been a UU single. I couldn't tell you necessarily which one. Probably something like Prey Size or Walk the Dog. Those have been quite popular. I'm surprised that things like Battle Auras and the bigger hitters haven't kind of flown out the door yet. Those are still on the site. I think it could be that my pricing's wrong. That's why I need to do a price check. And also just make sure that they are online, because I could always mistakenly thought I put them on, but they might not be. But in terms of this week's highest selling card, it's probably tray size. Weirdly enough, people seem to want to be buying tray size at the moment.
That's more than fair. Tray size is a very powerful card with some very good abilities.
Yeah. Other than that, for Girl Power, it's kind of the same cards: Black Abyss, Luna, Tigerus, if that's how you pronounce it, Big Fist Bash. Those all seem to be really popular still. And anytime they get any form of stock online on the site, they're just gone in minutes. So yeah, those are flying off. In general, it's very healthy, to the point where I'm struggling to get stock. I think in terms of girl power, I should probably not really say this. I think I only have like 2 ultra rares left in stock.
Ooh.
I have a bunch of like alt cards, but ultra rares, I only have these guys. The Sniping Spy.
Fair enough. But yeah, girl power's selling through well then.
Oh, very well, very well. And UU is also selling well. Slower than it was, but I think that's kind of in response to the fact that there's girl power out, people want girl power. But we are happy to have stock in for UU, knowing that it's probably out of print. We've got some booster boxes I've saved specifically for the next regional to make sure I have any form of UU for them. Yeah, but besides that, it's going very well, very well. Busy, but very well.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because I know you got some UU boxes in, and with the announcement that the warehouse is out, so what's the distribution is what's left. How did the booster boxes you get in sell?
So they sold pretty quickly, not instantly. They've sold over a span of a few days, which is fine. I'm more than fine for them to sell over a span of a few days. But they've gone. They have gone. Like, I think I have personally left just as replacement stock. I have 3 left. Which I may upload onto the site if I feel I have enough stock for the regional. It's all based on if I have enough stock for the regional. And also with that, we are potentially looking at opening up trade-ins online, like we kind of did at the regional. How I'm going to implement that is a totally different question, and I will post another blog post at some point explaining what we think might work and kind of get community feedback on it and see what people think might work, what might not work. It's important if we do trade-ins that I'm offering a very fair rate to my customers and also making sure I'm not ripping people off. That's incredibly important.
Yeah, exactly. And that works both ways. You don't also want to be getting ripped off while you're providing such a good service to the community.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to be the game of online stores. Like, you're not going to be like, hi, can I sell you my Chrome card? And I go, £50 credit? Like, I'll give you what it's worth. Like 80% of what it's worth. So,
I think that was the biggest takeaway from people trading in April was the pricing was ridiculously fair. I think some people were saying they had no idea how you were making money on vial seizings because of how much you were buying them for.
Yeah, now the vial seizings are good. It's all about being. It was the first time we did it at the regional, so it was a big learning experience. So we are going to simplify it and make it way easier for us on the next regional. And how we're going to handle it for the next regional will be different to how we handled it last regional. So just keep an eye out for those updates as well. I'll be posting everything online, so I can just send them along to you, and I can send them on Facebook group chats and things like that, as I've been doing. So just keep an eye out. That's all I can say.
I don't think there's much else to really go over until we have a talk about the Godzilla singles you pull next week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final words or anything to say to the community before we wrap up?
Just in general, how great they all are. I think I repeat this every time, but a lot of patience, a lot of great people. Just it's very much people are wanting cards, and without you guys, I wouldn't be able to be here right now. So, it's very humbling to be like, oh yeah, it's the store. Yes, it's technically mine, but it's technically in my head, it's everyone's in a weird way. Like it wouldn't be where it is if the community wasn't so receptive to it.
It's kind of symbiotic. You feed us and we feed you.
Exactly, quite literally. So, but other than that, it's going very good, and I'm excited to see what happens with Godzilla. So, yeah.
Me too. We've just finished editing some games that we played on Monday with the actual decks, and they're an absolute right. I can't wait for the community to get hold of them. But I think we'll leave it there, and we'll come back next week to talk about Godzilla singles and what kind of funky code you came up with for the discount.
Awesome. Thank you.